Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is my review, honey, for Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 14. Okay, divorce, divorce, divorce. Okay, I'm gonna keep saying it until somebody does it because that is what is needed for a few people on this cast. Okay, but y'all already know. First things first, make sure to do a couple of things. Okay, make sure to subscribe to my channels. Boom pal. Okay, boom pal. Y'all know to like the video, comment, you know what I'm saying, subscribe and share. Okay, y'all know all of these things. I said every single video. Okay, y'all know to follow me on social media. Boom, where I am is up in the corner. It is also in the description box below. Okay, on IG, on Twitter. Y'all know how it go. Do not forget tonight, the Ooh Ladies First panel was on Bondy Blues channel. Okay, at 9:30 p.m. Be there or be square. Okay, you do not want to be square round here. Okay, round here. Now again, I am here, but I'm gonna be popping in and off camera because again, I like popping in and out. Okay, because y'all see me all the time. So again, I'm out. Okay, but let's get into this episode of Married at First Sight, which I also want to call Why Did I Get Married at First Sight? Because why did they? Okay. I'm like this season, we never thought anything could be more, you know, crazy than we had last season with Chris and Paige and Mercedes and seasons prior with other people with foolishness going on here, there, and everywhere. But this season is a back and forth. Mad Hatter, Alice in Wonderland, just foolishness. Okay, I'm like, is everybody high? I feel like we all high because it's like, what's going on? But boom, the couples. Okay, I had this. I was tired of pulling up each person. We know who they is, but I have to have Brett and Ryan because I cannot tell who they are by saying the name. I always think that she's Ryan. I always think that he's Brett. Okay, but let's see. This episode is the couples trip. Okay, to be round here and round there together. Okay, all in one place, and they're going to a little ranch for a weekend getaway. So let's start with Brett and Ryan, where they're on the drive to the ranch, okay, in the car together. Now each couple rode together. Okay, where's Brett and Ryan's ride? Okay, where they at? Boom. Okay, we see Brett and Ryan at the bottom, they riding or whatever, and she brings up how, you know what? I want you to be saying the stuff that you're not saying. Okay? I want you to do that because I heard you say you want to just be friends. And he gets all, confused and all, what you mean? What happened? What do you mean? I'm like, sir, you know for a fact that he had not told her that you do not really want her. But also, ma'am, you know he don't want you. Okay, so I'm like, what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. If you want him to say things he has not been saying, you should too. Okay, because you have not been all that way honest. Okay, but he say, look, I feel like I don't have to always say what I feel because I feel like my actions speak for themselves. And I'm like, he ain't lying. He act like he don't like you. Okay, he acts like that. So he don't have to say it because he acts that way. Okay. But her thing is, I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, what's gonna happen or whatever, because we still here and whatnot. And then I'm like, it's weird because I think he's saying, if I don't grow feelings for you, then we can be friends. Like that's the only option. So why do you need me to say that? Whereas I clearly the point. And I was like, I'm so tired of Brett and Ryan and Brett or whatever, because they get to the ranch and nothing really happens with them too much. But let's move on, okay? Because I'm not talking on my damn because it's the same conversation each week, which is never really a conversation, okay? Now with Gil and Mirla, bam bam right here. When they get there, she just wish they could have like separate quarters. She wanted like whole separate cabanas or separate barns for each. They lived in a barn, but she was hoping it would not be like in one big old place. But it is. They just have their own room. But it's like, if you in a barn, well, I won't say a barn. If you're in a big old house that just has, 7 rooms, so you're still in the same place with these people where you wish it was like, okay, we on the big old lands and the land has 7 separate little cottages. Well, that ain't what it is, okay? But again, at least her and Gil run around here hugging and kissing, hugging, acting all lovey dovey. Now with Johnny and Bao, Johnny is just not happy with Bao right now. He's, what are we doing here? Johnny's unhappy in general. Okay, he's not happy that each couple had to share a room. I'm like, but don't you Bao share a room at home? I'm maybe not. I don't remember whatever. But he like me and Bao ain't on the best of terms right now. So that's a bunch of bull of the shit. But again, they are right now. We see, we don't get much from Rachel and Jose this episode either because she's happy with her killer and he's happy with his victim. By when Johnny we see, I mean they in the same car, but it's a disconnect, okay? And then we see with Gil and Mirla, they at least smiling a little bit, just a little bit or whatever. And of course with Brett and Ryan, you know, they just two strangers in the night. Now with Zach and Michaela, I said this right here should have told everyone this episode was going to be a shit show of shit, okay? Because I was like, Lord, when the episode started off, and I'm like, this is going to be a shit show. Because Zach brings up how him and Michaela had not, we had that fight because she wanted them to have separate rooms. He didn't want to have separate rooms. So he then went home because she told him she didn't care if he went home, but she didn't get pissed off at that. And then she moved out. So since then, they had a conversation via text or on the phone. They've made up in some kind of way. But Zach then said he needs her to apologize for what she did. He needs her to understand that her moving out hurt him and that she should not have done it or whatever. And she will not do it again. I said, Zach, sir, you've went back to your house more times or as many times as she's moved out. She's moved out twice. You went home 2 or 3 times. What's good for the goose should always be good for the gander. Now I don't know what that means exactly, but it sounds good. I do know what I mean. I'm joking. It means, you get what you get and it's the same thing. Okay. So they're gonna ride down together, but again, they do not look happy riding down together at all. And when they pull over somewhere to talk before they get to the little ranch or whatever and have a conversation, and she say, well, since having time to myself, because again she moved out, since having have time, and she was supposedly gonna move back in with Libby, but because she's had time to herself, she has realized her triggers a little bit more. Okay, she has she's in a better place. She's a better person now, and Zach is really with his body language, with his whole aura is saying, "Are you serious? Really? Have you or have you not? I don't believe you fully, but I think you may be full of shit." But you can, it's like, I'm good or whatever. But I do know that we both need to learn how to communicate better. I do feel like neither one of them knows how to talk to the other one, and one or both of them always get aggravated with the other one. When I'm like, y'all just don't be no. But again, they are straight. They are fully still strangers in the night who had sex. It's like a long ass booty call, a long ass one night stand, okay, a long ass speed dating with a fucking marriage license. I'm not get out my face, okay? But again, they say they cool or whatever. They're gonna get things figured out or whatever. I'm saying, and when they get back to the ranch, we'll get to the ranch. They want to sleep in the same bed. Now Zach was the one to suggest, yeah, we can sleep in the same bed because it'll be fun. I'm like, you really want some cooch? Zach really wants some cooch, and Michaela don't mind give him some cooch because she wants some dick. So again, I was like, they could have dick and cooch in common. Okay, he like her cooch, she like his dick. They got something in common, and that's what it is. Okay, so all the couples get there. Okay, they sitting around now. Okay, eating or whatever. Now Zach and Michaela both say how we had a rough couple of days. Okay, but we're more clear now on where we want to go in our marriage, and so we're gonna try to do better because we know our end goal or whatever. And they both do say the best thing that any of them can do is be open about their issues, because if you're not open about issues or talk about your issues, you can't work on them. I'm like, but are y'all working on y'all's? I mean, in a real way, I don't know. Now with Johnny and Bao, they bring up how, well, I felt like Johnny. Well, I think Bob wasn't gonna say shit about the issues, but Johnny kind of pussyfooted around the conversation. But he did say, "How you said, look, we have some issues or whatever." And again, Bob doesn't say anything. He say, so there have been some bumps in the road. You know what I'm saying, so he's like, I'm hoping this weekend that we can be nice to each other, okay, and have some fun. And I'm like, oh, because Bob ain't fun and Bob ain't nice is what he's saying with his language. And then Ryan and Brett, like, but don't feel bad about bringing up your issues. Like, we all have things to work on, so it's okay to speak about those things, okay? So I do feel like not much happens. Okay, they had some fun here and there. Okay, we seen some ski shooting. Okay, we seen what was the only ski shooting? God, they went and seen some ghosts. I don't know, but random fun things round here, round here, round here. But when they was picking rooms, Brett, Ryan, Johnny, and Bow were discussing rooms because there was, I think, one extra room that someone can use. Okay. And I was like, really? Okay. Um, but Bao stepped in a room by herself. I think Johnny got his own room. Brett had her own room, and then Ryan slept on the couch. I said, right. Bao had her own room. Brett had her own room. Ryan was on the couch, and I do think Johnny must have had the other room that was available because again, it's 5 couples, and I think it was 6 rooms. So again, I was like, it's crazy. But anyway, I was like, what girl? I don't know. But Johnny brings about he does not want to share a room with Bao. He really don't like Bao right now. He like, no man, no thank you. Because like I don't want to be here fussing, cussing with her the whole time. I want to have a good time. And I can't do that when I'm with my wife. Okay. And then Brett said she did not want to share a room with Ryan, which surprised Ryan. But I'm like, why? And her point was, we don't share a room at the house. So why would you think we're gonna come here and then share a room? Okay. So, we had not had a conversation because he just said that, well, I know me and Brett will share a room. She was like, will we? We didn't have that conversation. We didn't talk about that or whatever. I was like, girl. So again, that shit was that shit. Now we do see the ladies have a conversation, okay, chitting chatting, and the men does as well. Now I was listening, but not really, because again, I do feel like each couple was having the exact same issue. So nothing new this week has happened that we did not discuss last week. Okay. One thing I did notice was, with Brian saying how he didn't, he was trying he was saying that he wanted to share rooms with Brett here, but she rejected him. And Zach, being a whole hypocrite, says, well, what's the difference? Okay, if y'all don't share rooms at the house, why is that different than y'all not sharing rooms here? And Ryan had no answer because it's true. You're saying that she rejected you, but she didn't because again, y'all don't share rooms at the house. So she's just continuing on what y'all already have going on. I'm not well, that's true, but again, Zach, the thing with you, I feel like Michaela told you she did not want to share rooms, which made you upset and made you go home. So again, y'all were not sharing rooms before you came here because she told you she did not want to. But you then got here and told her, oh, we're going to share a room because you want some cooch. Okay, so Zach was a whole hypocrite. Okay, now with Johnny and Bao, they both express they're unhappy with the other. Okay, I think they both have clearly expressed that. Bob brings up how for her, I've had enough of him being mean to me and saying that I saw my father mistreat my mother and it got really, really bad. And I was told myself as a child, I would never deal with someone who treated me badly, but I have been doing that in this marriage. Like in this marriage, I have been accepting him devaluing me and I will not take it anymore. Okay. And I will not be disrespected by a man who doesn't see my work. I said, oh, let him know, Bow. Bow may not take baths, and I would never let that go. However, I do like that she's saying, I don't like how he's treating me. He's being mean to me. And we have seen Johnny be a complete mean asshole who needs to be punched in his esophagus. Okay. So I appreciate Bao for saying, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. Like he needs to respect me. Okay. Now we do see Brett and Ryan have a conversation. And pop off screen. And when they talk, it to me is more passive aggressive, non-verbal, verbal communication. Meaning neither of them want to be the one to really talk that shit and say, "Hey, you full of shit. You feel a way that you won't say, or you know how I feel and you won't call me out on it." And when she brings up how, look, I feel like your actions, okay, um, they don't match what you're saying. You'll say you want to try, but your actions don't follow that. The math ain't mathing. Okay, the comment ain't sensing, and I don't like it. Okay, and that you also moved out of our bedroom at home, but then got here and want to share rooms. How? Why would that happen? Okay, and when he then said, "Well, I was trying to be an adult," I said, "Whoa, bye, Siri." Popping up and I wasn't talking to her. Um, but I'm like, for him to say, I was trying to be the adult, meaning let's act like some shit is all cool when it is. And that's not being an adult, that's being a child. And he also like, I wanted to be an adult without making a scene. Then gonna say us sitting here having this conversation, this tense conversation is a whole. You're making a scene. I'm like, she's not making a scene. She's having a conversation. She's communicating with you. See, that's why I don't like Ryan, because you're making it seem like Brett is doing something wrong by calling you out on your shit. And she then say, well, first he also brings up how um I was trying to follow through with what I said I would do. I said I would try to make it better, and I was trying to do that by sharing a room. It's like, yeah, bro, but have a conversation first, okay, to see if she's okay with that. And her thing was, you tell me to call you out on your shit, and when I do, you so negative about it, okay? You make everything a negative, and that's some bullshit. If you can't take it, then don't dish it. Don't ask me to call you out. Don't ask me to be honest. And when I do, you look at what I said as a negative thing. Okay. And I'm like, look, at the end of their conversation, I'm like, I have no idea where they are. Are y'all broken up? Are y'all together? I was confused the whole goddamn time. Now we do see, Zach and Michaela have a little bit of a conversation. They sitting around now, okay, chit chatting or whatever. Now they were talking about what marriage means to them or whatever, and what this and what that. Um, in some kind of way, they get into disagreement because Zach feel like, he's been trying to make it work, and she feel like, well, maybe not so much because, you've been off for the past couple weeks. And, they then bring up how they had a conversation the night before and they both made they agreed to make the decision to get divorced. Okay, because they both don't feel like they're being themselves in the marriage. So again, they came to a conclusion. Okay, to not a synopsis, a synopsis. They came to the conclusion that we don't work well together in this entity of the show, okay, or in life or whatever. However, they were going to again divorce, still take time apart, but still be dating, try to come back together to see if they can make it work. And what I feel like, this is what I felt that meant. They don't want to be married on this show. And I can agree. Why? Because I've watched many seasons. Some people do better off camera. Case in point, Miles and Karen from last year. A couple of the couples as well. But Miles and Karen to me is a great example of she wasn't comfortable on camera with him. But off camera with him, they're great. Okay, and they're still married today, happy, happy, happy. But again, I can admit I get it when someone say, you know what, being married here in this situation can be very, very stressful. So we need to not do this. And I get not wanting to be on camera, but I don't get why they want to divorce and then try to. I'm like, no, why not just say yes on decision day and then, be together off camera between decision day and the reunion? Because in that time, you can figure out what y'all really want. Because in between decision day and the reunion and the show airing, y'all are together. Okay. Anyway, Michaela brings up how for her it's okay because I do feel like we both have work to do on ourselves, and saying we did not realize that marriage would be more hard work than we thought it would be. It's true. People don't get how hard marriage can be, especially when you are strangers. Okay, Zach then feels some kind of way, and I'm like, Zach, shut the fuck up. When Zach threw a whole low blow. Zach then said, he's like, well, no, marriage itself isn't more work than we thought it would be. He said, but being married to you is more work than I thought. I was like, this motherfucker here. I was like, you want her to punch you in the face. You want to get punched dead in the esophagus because why would you tell someone no? The hard work is you. You are the hard worker. I'm like, no, no, don't do that. Okay. He says, so not marriage in general is hard, because I want to make that clear that it's not marriage, it's just being married to you. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So he keeps saying how their situation makes it harder. And I'm like, I don't know if he means the show or what, but I was like, you sound dumb. And so she's like, well, if marriage with me is so hard, okay, if marriage with me is so hard, then why would we have a, relationship, while divorced? This fool said, because, at that point we're not married and the circumstances are changed. And so we can see what happens. And again, if he means I want to be able to be with you when we're not on camera. I want to see if we take off the stress of the show, if that makes it better. He said that shit so fucked up that I do not blame her for being pissed, but I got what he meant. But he still was dumb diddy. Okay. So she gets pissed. I can't do this. I can't do this. This is dumb. And I'm like, girl, just calm down and sit down. So Zach brings all this the extra bullshit that she does I can't deal with. And so, you know, that's why I don't think if I can really even be with her. And I'm like, oh my God. So she do tell him that it's crazy that he thinks them not being married would be different because at the end of the day, she will still be the same person. So how do you not it does and I'm like, right, it doesn't make any sense to make it seem like she will change. That's why I'm like, if you wanted to say, hey, I want to see how we are off camera. I want to see our dynamic. We are not being forced to be in the situation and then see how things go. But he's really talking like she would be a different person just because they're not married. And I'm like, that's not, no, sir. That's not, this is so dumb, okay? And she's asking him if he's ready for marriage and if he's ready for marriage with her. He says, well, yes, I am ready for marriage, but I'm not ready for marriage with you in this process, okay? I have no more energy for you in this process. And again, I'm like, I really think he means the show of it all. But at the end of the day, Zach, you're being fucking crazy. You're is crazy, deranged, and I'm done. Now it's just like I just can't. And you can because he gets up and walks away because they end the conversation. And she's sitting there, and I'm like, she looks like I want to implode. I want to implode. I want to explode. I want to just wow out. But the camera's going. I can feel her just wanting to explode the whole thing. I'm like, that was a gaslighting ass conversation on his parts. Um, and it's stupid. And Zach is just dumb. Now, I did see Zach on the after show, whatever. He did bring up how watching the show back, he completely agrees with Michaela. He didn't see it that way before. He said he didn't realize, it would be the same person, but he felt like, oh, it could be different if we, not on camera. But again, she might kill him. Now we do see Michaela goes and talks about, okay, they have a little conversation or whatever, and is rumors about Bob and Zach dating. I don't fully know how true they are. We've just seen footage of them together out in the streets or whatever. But we shall see about that. However, to see Michaela and Bob have a conversation was like, oh please, Bob, you can't be up and having heart to heart with Michaela if you were her husband. I'm like, God, okay. But when Michaela tells her why she's upset, because he told me that he is not ready for marriage with me right now, I did love Bob's response, saying like, well, no, if y'all love each other, y'all both are reacting based on your egos. Y'all should not let your egos get in the way if you love each other, okay? And also don't push him away from being honest. And I was like, damn, that's true. While Zach is also batshit crazy, you sometimes we do try to fault people or be upset with someone for being honest with us. And Bow's point was, if y'all love each other and he's telling you and he's being honest with you, why does that make you be upset? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, she's right. But and she's like, it's easy to quit. The harder thing to do is to work on it, because you know what I'm saying, y'all love each other. And they hug it out and feel like, she's right. I do love him or whatever. And I appreciate her letting me know that, to not give up. So they do have like a little fun game or whatever where they do it was like married at first sight, most likely do this or that. And it was, I don't care, but it was fun and cute. And they had one question that asked like, who was the most likely to be petty? And Michaela, Zach, and Gil all said Michaela. And they laughed. And Gil then said, I just feel like she's like a vindictive and like a thought out person, to where she'll like take the batteries out the smoke detector because she thinks about what to do to get back at somebody. And yes, I am. I was like, girl, don't admit that on camera. But she just, I would take the baseboards, I'll take the dish detergent, I'll take whatever. And she's laughing. And she's like, yeah, I'm petty. And I'm like, oh. And when she then said, I'm handy and will take all your shit. The whole time Zach's sitting there, he like, I don't like that shit. Like, I don't like it. Because when she moved out, that's what she did to him. She took, random shit that he would need. And Zach said that's not what he wants and a wife. And honey, they have a conversation in bed and it went from sugar to shit so fast. Um, Basically, he like, look, the stuff that happened earlier for me is unacceptable. Okay. And so I really just don't want to keep putting myself in these situations of me just feeling uncomfortable. Um, he do feel like she's two different Michaelas, and that sometimes when they talk about things, she forgets the conversations, and he like that's crazy, or whatever. And she brings, well, I talked about, and then Bao told me this, and Bao told me that, and so we have a great day today. So I just don't know what I've done to make you want to now say that you don't want to be with me. And he said, "Well, I get that." He like, but you should know that I'm for real, because again, as you said, we had a good day, but I'm still not happy and I want to be done. And so, um, she then say, "But if that's how you feel, you can go home right now." And I was like, "How the fuck did we get here?" Like they are in bed in pajamas. And I'm like, I don't know why he said that. I don't know why she's not telling him to go home. I was confused how we got from 0 to 100 that quick. Okay. And when she then say, I should drove myself because I knew that you do this bullshit. Okay. Now I don't, she said, I should have drove myself because I don't want to drive back with you. I knew you would do this bullshit or whatever. And now I have to figure out a way to get back home. And I was like, ooh. So he was like, wait, so you don't want to ride back with me? Because if you don't, I can drive back tonight, if you don't want to ride with me. And then she said, yep, bye, go, get out, go home now. So she's telling him, go, leave, get out, bye, bye, bye. He's like, well, no, I can't leave you here. We grow together. And she said, no, I'm telling you now to go, bye, get out. So I was like, I'm confused because again, it went from 0 to 100 so fast. And when she then brings up how she had no idea why he made the decision to be done, because again, I thought we had a fun day. He's like, right, but that's why I'm serious, because I'm just over it. He say, but you just said to me that you don't want to ride with me, so I guess I'll just leave tonight. And then she then say, well, no, I guess I misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? So I thought you were trying to leave tonight, but I will ride home with you tomorrow. He was like, but you just said that you didn't want to. So he's confused because she's not trading what she wants to do. Okay. Um, she then say, shut the fuck up. Let me talk. Okay. You don't have to worry about taking me home. Okay. She then calls her sister. She calls her sister and say, hey, can you come pick me up from Texas? I'm like, no. When you call your sibling in the middle of the night, asking for a ride while fussing with your person, that's triggering. To me, she wanted attention, but so did Zach, because that's why Zach wants to leave at night. It was the weirdest shit to me, okay? And so when she talking to the sister and saying, we was fussing or whatever, I'm saying, I need you because he want to leave, and I need to ride, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, he's like, give me the phone. He gets up the phone. He's like, look, you know, we just talked and she told me in one breath that she did not want to ride with me. She then said in the second breath, just 10 minutes ago, that she would ride home with me. So I don't know why he's calling you saying she needs a ride because she just told me that she would ride home with me. I didn't say that. I didn't. And I'm like, when they ran the tape back, like, and we see her saying, "Oh no, I'll ride home with you tomorrow." So it's like you said that to him, but then called your sister to say, "I need a ride." So I'm looking like, what the fuck, up, girl? Zach, like I'm leaving a retreat because I just want to remove myself from this negative situation or whatever because I'm just tired, and I do not want to keep feeling uncomfortable. Again, he wants to go home. He wants to leave immediately. And I'm like, please leave, okay? Because nothing is going right. Nothing is going right. I feel like everything is going wrong. And I'm just terrified that someone is going to get punched in the throat. I just don't want anybody getting punched in the throat. And as they talking or whatever, and she is now telling him, well, no, you can't leave. I don't want you to leave. Okay? You can't leave right now because I don't want you to do that. And I'm like, let him leave. Let him leave. And she's saying because it's 11 o'clock at night, you know what I'm saying? It's dark outside, or whatever, it's not safe for you to leave. And he's like, I appreciate that. I appreciate all of that. But however, I'm going to go home tonight. And sometimes you do have to remove yourself from things when you know it can go left. And we see him pack his bags, okay, to leave. And he's trying to leave. But she's like, nope, you're not going to leave. She's following behind him, like, oh, you going to leave? And I'm like, no, we can leave him alone. Let him be whatever he wants to be leaving. Let him go, okay? And then she takes his suitcase, takes it back in the room, and she then says, yep, because I'm petty. Because I'm petty. Remember, I'm petty, okay? Remember, not have no spice. I'm like, not remember, not have no spices. And it's just like, to me, it's going to a level of petty immaturity on both ends that a dude I need to go. And I do feel like him wanting to leave was the best thing. So I'm like, lovely. And now Bow is in the door and she's watching because they're fussing loudly back and forth. I would have been bowed to. I would have been watching. So I'm the nosy neighbor. So Zach Lee, he gets his suitcase again. And we hear them in a room because when she takes his suitcase from the hallway, takes it back in the room, he has to go back in there and get it. She slams the door. You then hear them fussing, and he's saying, I just want to go home. I just want to leave. And she's like, no, go to sleep. Go to bed. Get in the bed. And you hear him say, oh, he's going to push me now. You hear him like fall back on the bed. And she's just trying to not let him leave. But sometimes we have to let a person go and let them be whatever. And he gets out the room. He then says bye to the people because everybody else is outside. Bow is in her room. Um, and I think Johnny may have been in the house too, whatever. But again, he goes and says bye to the people. And then Michaela then says to Ryan, no, he shouldn't leave. Okay, get in the car with him. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And when she can't, she gets to his car and she tried to stand by his door. He's like, can I please let me leave. Just please I will be happy in my car. Let me leave. And so she moves, but she's still unhappy that Bao and Ryan could not convince him to stay, or that Ryan did not get in a car and leave with him. Ryan then said he's a grown man for one, and two was talking him down when we came outside. I was like, girl. And then she go in the house because Ryan pulls off. She goes in the house, in the barn or whatever, and she literally stormed through the whole place. She stormed in, knocked shit over, broken glass. I was like, that's Hurricane Kayla. As Hurricane Michaela full force winds, this I was like, bitch. And this is the thing. While Zach is not innocent, while Zach done his dirt to make her be upset, I still feel like that's not a way for an adult to act. And if seeing her react that way, I can see why Zach acts where he acts. But I also feel like that's why Zach should not be with her because he brings something out in her that is the worth her. It's still her. I don't think it's his fault that she acts this way. Even if he's triggering her, that's her reaction. And she hasn't shown that she can change yet, because when she gets pissed off, she's Hurricane K, and she's not. Ugh, it was a tantrum. His tantrum was him leaving. Fine. He calmly left. Fine. But I do feel like her having a whole fit was like, girl, fuck that. And then we seen the producer trying to prevent her from knocking over and breaking more shit in their house. So they trying to prevent her from doing whatever else, and trying to hold her. That's when we see her like move and like knocking the camera away and singing out my face. And I was like, this is crazy. And we then found out that Michaela's sister came and got her early in the morning. Okay. And I was like, girl, it's just seemed too much. It really, really is. And I just feel like Zach and Michaela are not ready for marriage. I really feel like they are. The reason why I give Zach more credit than Michaela is because at least Zach will try to leave a situation versus they ended in fuss and fight. And Michaela wants to fuss and fight. And those two kind of people will never work out because she has issues being abandoned, but he has issues fussing and fighting. So his mechanism is to run, and hers is to fuss and fight. So I'm like, they don't mesh. They just don't. Now the following morning, we do see all the couples hanging around, sitting around or whatever, and they're asked what happened from Bao and Ryan. And Ryan brings up how they was fussing for like 2 hours or whatever, for a couple of hours. And, Zach wanted to go home. She did not want him to. Then me and Bao were trying to, calm him down. But when Michaela came out and started yelling and cussing and fussing at him, it just made things worse. And then that's why he left. And I was like, Lord Jesus. And they do say how they noticed that earlier at dinner, or day before, that Zach was very quiet at dinner. And they thought he was just, hungry. And he's like, no. But they showed the flashback. I'm like, oh, he was looking at Michaela like, why am I here? Like, I don't even like you. Like, he looked like, I am so aggravated with you. Why am I here? I don't like your ass. And I was like, nobody knows that. That he wasn't happy. But I was like, girl, look, clearly Zach is over it. And that's fine, because not all couples are going to work out. But if I'm saying I'm done, let me be done. Let me leave. And what I liked was when they brought up how, they had issues before because Zach went home, before, but she got mad. And when Michaela didn't tell the ladies that, well, she told Zach she didn't care if he left. So that's why Zach left. And when Gil made a good point to me in saying, well, it's crazy for her to be upset with him for leaving when she told him to leave. And, so she should not say something she doesn't mean. And when Brett then say what men do that too, like, right, like, but that's why everyone should say what they mean and mean what they say, because if you don't, you can't be upset for saying something and someone does what you say, and then you're mad at them for doing it. So you just have to be honest and upfront about what you want. And with her saying, well, go home, I don't care, but she did care, and that has now carried over into all this bullshit. I was like, girl, I just can't. And to me, that was the whole episode. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I want y'all to be sure to like this video, comment in the comment section, share it on your social media. Okay, and do not forget to also be on the panel tonight. It is on Bondi Blues channel at 9:30 p.m. for the ladies first panel. It is 4:10 in the morning. I'm going to bed, bitch. Okay, I will talk to y'all later. Peace.